In this, let us learn time of supply of goods under forward charge. In previous video, we learned time of supply under reverse charge. Now we are going to learn time of supply under forward charge under section 12 subsection 2. To calculate time of supply under forward charge, we need to consider date of issue of invoice and date of payment of receipt of goods. Here, date of issue of invoice. This date, how date of issue of invoice should be determined means this date will be determined by taking earliest date between actual invoice issue date and last date as per section 31. Date of issue of invoice. How to calculate means we have to see actual invoice issue date and last date as per section 31 or date of removal or delivery of goods. Between these 2 days, whichever is earlier, that date will be date of issue of invoice. Okay, point A. Then point B, date of payment by receipt of goods. The payment date should be considered. So, then time of supply will be earlier date between A and B. That means time of supply will be earlier date between date of issue of invoice and date of payment by receipt of goods. So here let us see one example under forward charge. An order placed on Raman Company on 18th August for supply of a consignment of customized shoes. Raman Company gets ready and informs the customer and issues the invoice on 2nd December. The customer collects the consignment from the premises of Raman Company on 7th December and electronically transfer the payment on the same date, which is entered in the accounts on next day, 8th December. So, to calculate time of supply under forward charge, we need to know date of issue of invoice and the date of payment. So, to calculate date of invoice, we have to know actual invoice date and last date section 31. So, actual invoice is, they have clearly mentioned that issue the invoice on 2nd December. So, actual date will be 2nd December. And we have to take last date. Last date under section 31. This one. From the premises, the customer collects the consignment from the premises of Raman Company on 7th December. So, last date under section 31 will be 7th December. So, date of invoice is earlier date between these 2 days. So, December 2 and December 7, which is earlier December 2. So, date of invoice issued will be December 2. And date of payment. Here, book entry is there, see, and electronically transfer the payment on the same date. That means 7th December, which is entered in the accounts on next date, 8th December. This is book account, that is bank account. Electronically means bank account. So, we have to take book entry 8th December, bank entry 7th December. So, whichever is earlier between these 2 days will be the date of payment. That is 7th December will be the date of payment. So, therefore, time of supply will be December 2. That means earlier date between date of invoice and date of payment. Date of invoice is December 2. Date of payment date is 7th December. Earlier is December 2. So, time of supply will be December 2. See, here is different question where investigation shows that 150 cartons of ceramic cafeterias were dispatched on 2nd August, but no invoice was raised, and the transaction, that means dispatch of customs cartons was not entered into accounts. There was no evidence of receipt of payments. In this case, Since the invoice has not been issued, the time of supply for the purpose of payment of tax will be the last date on which the invoice is required to be issued. Therefore, time of supply is August 2, where there is no invoice raised, so dispatched on 2nd August. So, 2nd August will be the time of supply.